Hi friends, host Eric, Sergeant Host Eric of Type Police, host Eric talking with Spanish people here. And, you know, I know as part of the law enforcement agency involved here, we're going to be under a lot of scrutiny on this one. We got a bit of a...
Isn't this a repeat offender?
He is a repeat offender. Somebody who's been... I've seen his face on the wanted poster in the station for quite a while, so when I saw him out on the highway today, obviously I felt a little bit of enthusiasm towards pulling his ass over. He's right behind the badge, but before we show you who we got here, let's go ahead and play the song to start the show, as they say. Try as you might, you just can't hide, 'cause you're mistyped. And I've been waiting to pull you over all night. Type police, type police. Please pull that guy over. He says he's my ENTP, but seems extroverted, sensing to me. I think he's ESFP or Type Police. Okay, welcome back to Type Police. So this fellow we have under here, I've heard a lot of people clamoring to see him have his encounter with the law enforcement agency known as the Type Police. His name's C.S. Joseph. He calls himself an ENTP. Now, I'm going to give him a blank slate here. I'm going to start over from scratch. Pretend I know nothing about the man. And we're going to see what we see.
Do you know very much about the man?
Well, I mean, I've watched some of his videos before and critiqued him as not an ENTP. But
do not reveal what you have.
Well,
It's all
this
evidence.
blank slate.
You cannot write.
I am a blank slate judge here. I am not going to try to be.
Not permissible.
Yeah, none of this evidence is admissible. It
admissible.
is. Yeah, it may be permissible, but it's not admissible.
Okay.
So what is admissible is what I see here tonight, and we're going to judge that according to its merits.
Sergeant Garcia, what are you doing back there?
So, I think it was on the wrong.
Sergeant Garcia, you need to get some underwear on. You are out of uniform.
Yeah.
While we figure this out here, let's let C.S. Joseph talk for a bit.
Hey, it's C.S. Joseph with csjoseph.life doing another episode for Season 16. Season 16 is the season where we're talking about cognitive functions. And excuse the echo. We're still under construction here in the studio. I'm also getting ordered some additional sound equipment. So we're trying to get that fixed right now and adjusted as we're going to hopefully be transitioning to a different camera and sound setup. But thank you for your patience with that. I really appreciate it. In the meantime, I'm probably going to do my best to raise my voice and pretend like I'm a giant cat in the same way that Conan O'Brien does, specifically to make this camera spontaneously combust mid-lecture. Although I have no idea what pretending to be a cat does to cameras in terms of spontaneous combustion, but I figured I'd throw it in there for effect. So with that being said, let's just dive into the content and deal with all the frou-frou later, if you know what I mean. So the Trickster Function, Season 16, Episode 7, what is the cognitive attitude of the Trickster Function? So what is the Trickster Function and where does it come from? Well, it was best defined by Dr. John Beebe. Dr. John Beebe is the man, and Mark Hunsaker actually wrote a book.
Pathos. That's what I want to draw your attention to first, is pathos. ENTJs are pathological. Now, we use the word pathological a lot of times to attach to some sort of disorder or whatever. I used the word pathologize earlier today to refer to an INFJ's FE attack on somebody else. But pathological comes simply from the word pathos, meaning it's a critique of the person, and it's analysis by the person, not by the argument, not by the evidence even. So one thing I'm going to have to admit some little inadmissible evidence here. I've seen before from this guy is he is absolutely fixated on attributing ideas to sources and on the legitimacy of these people and the fact that this guy is why you can trust this idea. That's a pathological argument. It's something ENTJs do a lot. So let me just start right there, and let's continue. Now you'll notice his little attempt at NE there at the beginning was, first of all, the first thing he did was identify what it was similar to. For somebody else did it first, maybe Conan O'Brien did it first. I don't know, or maybe he's making some sort of Conan O'Brien reference that either was attributing to him again, being pathological, or was
legitimizing.
I mean, I don't know what he was doing there, but that
sounds like he's legitimizing.
It's not natural NE. You hear me make jokes and shit and goof around all the time, Kim.
Yeah.
It's not like that, is it? No, it's not. So, let's proceed.
Book. I think he called it Depth Typology. A very excellent book. I'm actually in the process of reading it, and as per a suggestion of the audience right now, and I think it will be made available as a book giveaway in an upcoming episode. So as I get my car studio figured out, which I filmed 3 episodes today in the car studio, because I literally set up a studio inside of my car. It's kind of like odd. It's like a little mobile studio or whatever as I drive, because I spend 15 hours a week driving.
Okay, no, he's talking about shit he's done and is doing. He's not talking about ideas, right? Because SE third slot. So he's either talking about how to do shit, dominant function, talking about the truth, that's his tool function, or he's talking about the rewards of doing shit, his third function. And that's C.S. Joseph in a nutshell. What is he not doing any of? Ideation. None. When's the last time you heard me attribute something to anybody? When's the last time you heard me say, you know what's a great book full of good ideas? Never have I said that. Why? Because I don't read anybody's books. I come up with my own ideas. And if it's not my idea, I think it's dumb. Because I'm a fucking retarded ENTP who does that shit. Right? ENTPs are in some way entirely retarded. We would rather reinvent the wheel, have it be square and not work well, than use a round wheel that's right in front of us.
To a fault.
And that is our nature. This is not an ENTP.
No.
Prepare yourself, C.S. Joseph. You are going to the slammer, and I'm putting you in the squad car roughly, my friend. I've had enough of your bullshit.
But the point is, the camera shaking, that's terrible, so I'm trying to figure that out, and I'm probably going to have to reshoot those 3 episodes again, which I'm fine with. I'll get over it and make it work. But until then, this is kind of what I have to do to get that set up, and then also figure out a better whiteboard approach.
Talking more stuff about what he's going to do and how he's going to do it.
I'm not going to crash, and yes, it will be safe, so don't worry, right? So anyway,
I was worried.
Cognitive attitude of Trickster Function, John Beebe. Read John Beebe so that you understand what it's all about. So what is the Trickster Function? The Trickster Function, why is it called the Trickster Function? The Trickster Function is called Trickster because it tricks you. It's that simple. It's very tricksy, kind of like Gollum, tricksy hobbitses.
Again.
And,
he's alluding to shit, making references, not his own ideas.
Living in your mind, living within your soul, basically making you think that you're aware of things when you are actually not aware of them at all. It's kind of like allowing an ESFJ or an ESTJ actually want something, and then all of a sudden, oh yeah, I really want this thing, and then they want the wrong thing by default, and they end up destroying their life and the lives and the futures of other people around them, specifically because they made that really poor decision. That's just one example of the Trickster Function and what it does to people. So there are a lot of names, a lot of labels for the Trickster Function right now in the MBTI blogosphere, but quite frankly, it's all about unawareness or lack of awareness, right? But it's a little...
Okay, so he's talking about the polar slot, and there's a lot of different words and a lot of different things, but remember, it all boils down to this one thing. Because, I'm an NI tool user. And you might say, Eric, you're doing the same thing here. You're just like, this all boils down to this one thing. No, I'm not. I'm throwing a bunch of different shit at you as to why he's not an ENTJ. And I'm making it all up on the fly. And I'm not referencing anything that I've read or learned.
I thought you said why he's not an ENTP.
He's not an ENTP. That's my point.
You said why he's not an ENTJ, but you meant why he's not an ENTP.
Thank you for the correction. I appreciate it. He's not an ENTP. He's not. Okay, so C.S. Joseph, put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. I'm going to cuff you right now. And I'm taking you downtown. I'm throwing your ass in the type jail where you belong. You are not today, nor have you ever been before, nor will you ever again be. Or
ENTP.
Yes, nor will you ever again be for the first time. ENTP. You're not an ENTP, and that's it.
So he is a what?
I think he's an ENTJ. I know he's an ENTJ. He's an ENTJ. But the thing is, I don't like being so definitive about what he is. I can be absolutely definitive about what the fuck he's not, which is an ENTP. No way, no how, not in a million years. Nuh-uh. The ENTP club has rejected your membership. No.
Guess what, sir? You are on your way. Goodbye.
To the slammer. That's where you're going, buddy. The slammer.
Goodbye. Bye, C.S. Joseph.
Okay. Thanks. See you next time. Try as you might, you just can't hide, 'cause you're mistyped. And I've been waiting to